Okay, well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Acoustic Cafe radio show live. We're live. We're live on video stream as well at this part of the evening. And it's absolutely wonderful to have our guests with us. We've got 3 guests tonight.
Yeah.
Wow.
And starting with Charlie Dore and Julian there.
Hey, guys.
Great.
So you're actually touring at the moment, and we've got a big show coming up in a couple of days' time in Basingstoke, which is local to us.
To me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And local. Oh, very local.
Very local to me. Yes.
Yeah. And are we going to see you there?
Of course you will. I'll be there.
Excellent. That's great. It's the first time. Well, I think you've played it before, but it's the first time I've played at the Forge. So that's a voyage of discovery for us.
It's a nice theatre.
It is.
Actually, it's very nice.
Yeah. Is it part of the Anvil or?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's in the same building.
I think you go through the main part of the Anvil, and then you go downstairs. It's sort of
right.
I've been to a couple of concerts there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And also, Charlie, when now we're on the subject, people locally, because we're not far away from Guildford, and you're in the Electric Theatre as well. So if people from our area can't get to Basingstoke, there's always a Guildford. But I can't remember the date now. You remember the date you're in?
It's Saturday. This coming Saturday.
Is that the 16th?
I think it's the. Is it the 16th?
It is. Saturday the
16th.
Electric.
So if you're not allowed out during the week, or you have a paper round, or homework to do, then Saturday night is music night, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Electric Theatre. Yeah. So that's okay. And obviously, if your main area is Basingstoke, of course, that's on Thursday. So
yeah.
Be good.
Perfect.
No, I haven't played the Forge, but I've done the Anvil before. But it's all part of that quite big complex, so it's well equipped and all that, isn't it?
Oh yes. Yeah.
It is, yeah. And what can people expect? Are you going to do some of the archive stuff, or is it all new stuff that you're doing at this?
It's a mixture. It's a really big mixture of stuff. I mean, we still we're doing some songs that we haven't ever performed, aren't we?
Yeah.
There are a couple that we simply.
We're doing some stuff that we wrote and maybe put on a B-side. What B-side? What age do I live in?
Same age as us.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. We understand that. Do we understand that?
But we're on the equivalent of a B-side, put it that way, and that we never performed live. There's one called "Is Anybody There?" Isn't there?
Yes, that was suggested by one of our followers, and he just suggested it a few weeks ago, and I thought, gosh, I actually we have never done that. We've never ever performed that, and we had a listen, and we thought, I wonder why we never did it. It was just you can't fit everything in. You know, it's as simple as that. So there's that. There's a couple of other ones that just have maybe they were allowed out. Maybe even 10 years ago or more. Yeah. But they just haven't.
I mean, we're how many albums in now?
At least 10.
Yeah, at least 10.
And that's on my own label. When I started not saying yes sir, no sir to a record label, and there were a couple before that as well.
Yeah, there were. I mean, obviously there were three albums, was it, before that, which you did with the big record labels and all that stuff.
Yes.
And then you finally got your own way. As opposed to having to bow to what the record label wanted, we don't hear a single and all that stuff. So in early 2000s, was it?
Yes.
Charlie decided to go it alone and do her own thing, and much happier that way, really.
Much happier, yes. Yeah. A lot happier, really.
Yeah,
it's only yourself you have to please. And the audience.
Yes, and them as well.
Them. Yeah.
No, that's it's been good, and I think it was really we started doing those songs in that combination of
lineup of instruments.
Instruments, yes, because we'd written the music to a TV series. Called 1,000 Acres of Sky.
2,000 Acres.
2,000. I just cut it down by half. 2000. And for that, we were the composers, and to their drama series. And really, what they said they wanted from us was they wanted us to sound like a little band who lived on the island. And so we used a lot of instruments that we use.
Yeah, it was set on a fictional island off the coast of Scotland. And so they said we want it to have Scottish vibes to it, but not accordions and things like that. So Charlie hit on this brilliant idea of using an Indian harmonium for the more chordal stuff. And we did that, had the harmonium, and then we used mandolins and all that stuff. And actually we said, well, Charlie and me said, this is a really good sound for your voice, you know.
Yes.
And so we carried on and we did a whole album, you know, the first of those albums we did with those combinations, and we still use that combination because it really complements your voice. So so it's great. Yeah
Wonderful. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a quick change around and ask Cindy to come on and introduce herself, and then we're going to open up to some questions also for Bill. Hi Cindy.
Hi.
Tell us a little bit about what's happening with you at the moment.
Well, can I just say what a thrill it is to be on the same show as Charlie and Julian there? Because you're people that I've been longing to come and see for a long time, and I'm so disappointed that you're not touring around my way this time. But
what's your way?
Hopefully you will be soon again.
Where's your way?
Bath,
Bath.
Bristol. Yeah.
Just looking. Hang on. Just looking.
Not too far away. when we go west in September, I think you probably won't be able to avoid us.
Oh, good. Well, that sounds good. I certainly don't want to avoid you. I want to come and hear you. So, yeah, good. We're friends on Facebook, but you probably wouldn't know that. But anyway, I'm a singer-songwriter. I've been writing for a very long time, and I just released an album. This one is called Everything Changes, and it's a bit old school. It's got 15 tracks on it, which I don't think people do very often anymore.
Yes.
In this day and age, and it's got lots of middle eights as well, which I hear is not so.
Like a middle eight.
Yes, I'm a great fan of the middle. Yeah.
Is that your latest album or your first?
This is my latest album. I have made a few before, but this is the one that's I'm really sort of pleased with. I think I think the more you do, the more experienced you are, hopefully the better you get.
That's the idea, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not always reflected in what you hear on the radio and so on, is it? So
well, we do our best.
We do our best, yes.
That's down to fashion, really, isn't it? A lot of stuff that gets played on the radio, and fashion and music aren't always good bedfellows.
No, exactly, because I total respect to you, Charlie, for going your own way and for doing things. And I think you have to, don't you? You just got to kind of. It's almost like putting on a pair of blinkers and saying, "Well, I'm going to do what I want to do because I want to do it, and that's it." And that's me making my voice heard in my own unique way. And
but you must get to know, if you've been in the business for a long time, you must get to know what your audience is like. So when
they do know.
Yeah, and you can't always tell, can you? Sometimes you can show up and think, oh, this is going to be great, and you might have been sent to the wrong place, let's say, and which has happened to me a few times in the past, but not so much these days. And the last concert I did was launching this in Bath, and it was a sellout, and it was the most fabulous evening, really lovely. And I think everyone that was there wanted to be there and was really into the music, so that was great. That's all you can ask for.
And when you're playing, do you have a band or do you just do it solo?
I can do what's required, so I can play solo. I sometimes play with my husband as a duo, and on this occasion we had 2 backing singers, so we all sort of swap. I play piano and guitar, but not at the same time.
Right.
And Matthew plays bass and guitar and piano. So between us, we were swapping around, and then we had 2 backing singers because a lot of my work has got is very harmony driven, so they're very rich, thick harmonies on there. And I do some of that on the pedal, so I can again on my own I can get quite a good sound.
You've got one of those harmony pedals, have you?
Yeah, and yes,
Yeah,
and they're really, I found it a really creative tool, really wonderful. But it's lovely as well to have the warmth of, you know, two extra voices providing that depth and those harmonies. So so at the moment it's a 4-piece.
Tour, that is.
Yeah, that's
luxury
great.
tour with backing singers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now then, Cindy, if you don't mind, we've got a third musician to bring in, and he's there, and I think he's up north, aren't you, Bill?
I am, yeah. I'm up north in Newcastle, up in the northeast.
So we're all over the country tonight. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, it's a really interesting time for me because I started writing songs just before lockdown, and I've actually just released my debut album a couple of weeks ago on Bandcamp, and it's due for release later this week on all the other streaming platforms. So it's a really strange and interesting time. The album was produced by Dan Whitehouse, who's a great friend and a great musician. I hadn't even been in a studio before, so Dan very kindly brought all his equipment up here. Spent 6 days with us in this living room, putting my vocals and my guitar, recording that, adding some pieces himself, then took it away and added other musicians on. So the whole process, finding out how the recording process works, has just been, you know, really interesting.
Yeah, wow, that's quite an adventure you're on then, Bill. And the album's called Closer, I believe.
It is called Closer. I'm not a gigging musician. I don't do festivals or paid gigs, but I do sing in lots of local folk clubs in the area. Just been to one this afternoon, and it's absolutely fantastic when you sing one of your songs and it comes to the chorus and you hear everyone singing back, so the whole room joins in. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
Are there lots of folk clubs in your area?
There are very, very interesting ones, quite diverse. Some of them sing very traditional songs, ballads, long songs. Others welcome singer-songwriters. So there's quite a mixture, but it's quite a vibrant scene up here, yeah.
Have you been to Cramlington?
I have. I was there a couple of weeks ago singing a couple of songs. They're a great crowd, yeah.
They are, aren't they? Yes. Yeah, one of my many ex-husbands is part of Cramlington. I know. But it's a great club. I've been up there.
Yeah, you always get a very, very... I've only been a couple of times, but they're so warm and welcoming.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to open up to questions from the floor now, and I'm going to bring Lainey in first. Hi, Lainey.
Hello, everybody. It's so interesting.
Musician friends here tonight.
We've got a lot tonight, haven't we? So Charlie and Julian, obviously massive, big career, long time in the business, and you've done lots of very different things. Two sort of contrasts. So what is it that still really excites you, and what is the thing that makes you procrastinate the most?
Oh, procrastination. You've hit on a real nerve there.
Well, as a procrastinator, Olympic standard, I mean, it can be anything really. It can be anything that sets off a procrastination few hours. I also, a lot of it, I actually have read, and I believe it's true, there's a certain amount of perfectionism associated with that. I'm not always rewarded, of course, you know, but yes, trying to do the thing that is absolutely right can hold things up, and that can be frustrating for other people.
But we've worked together since we were teenagers, and so we met at drama school when we were very, very young.
Yes,
and
we played guitar,
and we played guitar in the between lectures or whatever you want to call them, between lessons and things like that. There was a sort of a foyer. We had a theatre at our drama school, and they had a foyer And we used to sit in the foyer and play, you know, Simon and Garfunkel, Scarborough Fair, all that kind of stuff. And but Charlie had started. Well, we both sort of wrote our own songs of varying standards. But I mean, ever since then, we've worked. I mean, we've had periods where we don't work together, but mainly we on and off we've worked together ever since. You know, so and it's just been like that. And we did the first album. We went to Nashville and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I mean, we've been doing it for a long time, and we've worked together for a long time, which is quite amazing, really.
Yeah.
Yes. So does that mean, Julian, you know Charlie so well you can get her through those humps when she's going through her perfectionism?
Well, hopefully.
No. It's a frustration for him, even now.
It can be
he's
frustrating.
Being tactful.
It can be a frustration, but you know, I'm still here, so you know, what can I tell you? What can I tell you? Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I tend to be. I mean, I am a co-writer, but I'm also enable stuff to happen, and so sometimes you have to be patient and let that enabling, you know, happen in terms of something not happening. And then eventually it does, you know. I mean, yes, of course, I'll get frustrated with things sometimes because I go, make up your mind, you know. But that's all part of working together, you know. And we wouldn't be working together if we didn't, you know, like working together and get artistic, you know, success out of it, as it were. Yeah.
Brilliant. And so now that I've hit on a nerve, then I guess I'm going to ask the same question for Cindy and Bill. Where does your procrastination come in? So Cindy, and I know Cindy and I have had an interview and we've done a whole show together recently. So yes. I know lots about you, but didn't ask you that.
No, you didn't. Yeah, I think it's really easy to get distracted, especially because you only really answer to yourself, don't you? So unless you're on a commission for somebody and you've got a deadline, or you kind of creating your own deadlines, and so it's very easy to waft about and not do a lot. And yeah, I mean, I know some people say write every day, whether or not you feel like it, and I'm sure that's a great idea, and I tell my pupils to do that, but I don't always do that, and I think sometimes you know, an idea will come, and then nothing will stop you. Nobody can stop you for a few weeks. You just want to finish whatever it is that's carrying you forward.
Yeah, I think a lot of people say that, don't they? Once they get it, they just like a runaway train, but sometimes there'll just be a pause. Bill, do you want to come in? Do you find the same thing?
Yeah, not really. Being fairly new to songwriting, I haven't hit that procrastination block yet. But what I do find interesting is collaborating, because I'm very, very new to collaboration. I spent a week at a songwriting retreat in Halsey Manor at the end of January, run by Reg Muros, Buhudi and Katie Whitehouse. And it was a week-long course, and on each of the days we were partnered up with someone. So someone you hadn't met, you were writing a new song for 4 consecutive days with 4 different partners. And I was just absolutely astounded that, you know, you can start and finish and sing back a song within the space of 2 hours. So it's just incredible to watch other songwriters work. But I haven't hit that block yet, because I haven't written many songs, so I haven't got into the habit of going back to the same old chord structures or sequences. But no doubt that'll come.
Yeah. It might not.
How many songs have you written, Bill?
Sorry?
How many songs have you written so far?
Probably 90.
90?
90?
Yeah. So I sing some in the local folk clubs, but I've only recorded the 11 that's on the new album.
Well, that's an album, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, sure.
That's great.
How did you throw away? Is there another 90 that you've got in the bin?
I wouldn't think so. I think I'm starting to slow down now.
Bill, is your album, the one you've done with Dan, is that out now, did you say?
It's out now on Bandcamp, and it's released on Friday on Spotify and Apple Music.
On all the platforms.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, that's it.
Are you releasing any singles? Any of you releasing any singles? Or because a lot of people we speak to, when they have an album, they also release a single alongside to promote the album.
I haven't done that. I haven't been into the social media things yet, so I'm still a novice.
Right. I'm going to bring Gowan in now. Gowan, you got questions for our guests?
Indeed, I do. I have some searching, penetrating questions for all our guests.
Shall I put him off?
It's not what is your favourite colour.
Green room.
So it's the same. So it's the same question to Charlie, Julian, and Bill, and something completely different for Cindy. So starting off with Bill, do you have anything left on your music bucket list?
Sorry, can you repeat? Anything left on?
Do you have anything left to do on your music bucket list?
Yes, get better, play better, sing better, quite a lot. I only started playing the guitar about 10 years ago and singing about 5 years ago. So again, I'm quite new. So there's so much to learn, and just watching other people perform and watching how they write their songs and share their music. I think that's on the bucket list, to watch people more and learn from others and sing as much as I can.
I think that's a great entry, a great thing to do. Charlie and Julian, same question.
The bucket list.
Well, one of the answers is the same as Bill's, which is you're always striving for something. So, you never get to best, you get to better, and then you got to be better than that. So there's that never, unfortunately, Bill, that never changes. So, which is good. Otherwise,
well, I think that the main thing I would say for my bucket list is to continue to listen and be open about stuff, and also not be frightened of not writing anything, because sometimes you need to be on shutdown, and all you need to do during that time is listen to other people, read, do lots of different stuff, because an idea can be hiding anywhere. You know what I mean? And some people are lucky; they can sit down, get up every morning at a certain time, and have a certain amount of time for writing or whatever, practicing. And that's great. But I think it's also important to not do that sometimes, so that you can get some refreshment from elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I hope I can continue to do that. Just literally going out in the garden and seeing a fight between a robin and a rook. Or I don't know. Just something that can inspire you. I think it's important to do that.
I think it's a slightly different process when it's personal, as opposed to the Brill Building in New York back in the 50s, where they're churning out songs for pop people, because that's kind of worked out like a commission, really. If you're writing personal stuff, I think it's a different process, really. We've done commissions, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Where you go, right, it's got to be aimed at that. It's for so-and-so, whatever. But when you're writing your own stuff, the process, I don't think the process stops. And actually what Cindy was saying, and Charlie, is that actually I think you're always writing in your head. You're not always conscious of it. You know what I mean? And it's sort of things come into your head. You don't necessarily do anything about it that day, but they do. Life informs you anyway, doesn't it?
You're dusting for ideas.
Yeah.
Basically.
Consciously or unconsciously. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And a completely different question for Cindy. Now, Cindy has already been mentioned, but she has this great new album called Everything Changes. And what I like about this album, apart from 15 great tracks on it, is I can actually read the text on there, because you've got great contrast, and the text is a nice size. So I'm not getting out a magnifying glass and trying to figure out what's being said. And as Cindy said, there's 15 tracks. Last one involves a choir. Your question, which after 10 minutes I finally get round to, you write your own songs, but there's a track on here called Tarn of Tears. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I don't collaborate, haven't had the opportunity to collaborate as much as I'd like to. But I approached a playwright because I love her work during lockdown, and we came up with the idea of writing some songs together. But before we did that, she let me loose on one of her poems, and she gave me the poem Tarn of Tear. Well, it's called something else. Lake Tear of the Clouds, her poem, and said, do what you like with it, which was just brilliant, because I do like writing my own words, but it's very exposing, and I get, if I'm at my most neurotic when I'm thinking about lyrics and so on, and this was just totally freeing. It was brilliant. It was somebody else's work. I loved it. I loved the poem, and then just having that freedom to turn it into a song. And of course, you do have to do things. There were lines in it that there was just two words, softly away, in the poem, and it was only mentioned once, but that became like a refrain in the chorus, and to mold it into a song was just such a joy, and it was just a beautiful thing to do, and I absolutely loved it. And so we wrote some songs in a more collaborative way after that. But I have to say that just being given the freedom to play with somebody else's words was wonderful, because I think my playwright friend Alison Farina did one of the courses like you did, Bill, when you with not with Boo Hewardine, but with some other luminaries, and came back full of, oh yes, well, I know we have to do this now. And I thought, oh, now she's going to tell me what to do. That's a shame. I really liked working with just the words, and so anyway, yeah, it was a lovely thing to do.
Right, thanks, Gowan. Quick change around now, and
where's Tony?
See if I can find Tony down here somewhere. There he is. So let's put Tony on. I can't. Got to somebody off.
Yep, I'm going.
Going.
I don't know. I don't think you are.
I'll get rid of you, Gavin, now.
Get rid of you, I'm afraid. I know. Sorry, I'm doing this wrong. Yeah.
No, it's raining.
We're getting there. Right, Tony, welcome.
Hello.
There we go.
I'll put the drinks and the canapes away. Yes, hello.
Before we do that, Charlie and Julian, are you okay for a few minutes with us?
Yeah, we're okay for about
5 minutes.
Yeah, about 5 we got, I think. Yeah,
that sounds good. That's about what we've got, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Tony, far away.
Yeah. So it's a question for all of you, because you've all had different experiences of life, done different things. How much do your life experiences influence the songs you write, the way you write your songs?
Well, sometimes those songs are very much inspired by something that I've personally experienced, and in equal measure, there are things that I've never experienced but I've read about or heard about, and just reading a line in the newspaper can inspire a whole song. So it is both, actually, for me. But you have to be careful with personal things, though, because people may realize it's about them.
And you're not Adele.
Yeah,
you're not Adele.
Yes. No, you need a lawyer if you're in that.
And Bill, because I know you were a train driver, weren't you? And you've worked for a local authority. Has that affected or influenced your music?
Yeah, I have had a number of jobs, industrial type jobs. I've worked in the shipyards when I was younger, so I have wrote songs about shipbuilding, about driving trains, and I've also cycled quite a lot. I've cycled around the world, so I've had lots of adventures in many, many different countries. And some of my songs reflect those experiences of what's happened to us on the road, or people that I've met, or different cultures. But like other singer-songwriters, wide source of material. I got I get lots of stories from the newspaper, so I sing about current issues and topics, what's happening in Iran or in Eastern Europe. So there's always things to write about.
Yeah.
And Cindy?
Yeah, I would echo what Charlie said. Really, it's both. It can be very personal, and it can be just a stream of consciousness or just somebody else's story that you're reflecting through your own, eyes, voice. So yeah.
Jules, what do you?
I think I'm pretty much the same as Charlie, really. Although I do write a lot from. My heart's quite on my sleeve when I write, for better or for worse. So it's quite often personal with me. But same, there's things that you hear, news items and all that sort of stuff, that you go, oh, I want to write about. I want to do a thing about that, that in the end there are no rules in a lot of ways, because input comes at you from so many areas, from what's going on around you, or from an experience you've had during the day, or whatever it is, So, I mean, it is pretty variable, I have to say. Yeah.
Right, we're going to swap back now because we're running short of time, and I'm just going to have a quick check to see. Oh, lots and lots of words down the side here. Let's just have a look. John Bailey says you were in perfect harmony last Friday at a very small stage and managed to swap places and instruments very easily.
Sounds like us.
Yeah. I think that's referring to you, because that will be up in the Midlands. And Katie Whitehouse is with us there. So, I think we're going to have to wrap things up. Any final questions from the studio? No,
it's been.
I think of loads, but I think time's running out. I just want to wish everybody much success with their musical careers, and obviously,
thanks for having us on.
Charlie and
Basingstoke Thursday.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And then Guildford Electric on Saturday.
Okay. Well, everybody, tune into your radios in a few minutes' time, because we will be live on air on the radio only. But this is the end of the video show, so I'm going to say thank you very much to our guests, and good luck with everything you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining.
Lovely to see you all.
Bye.